Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you guys are having a great Monday. We got a lot of news to cover today, so we'll get right into it. We're going to cover the markets. Markets were up today. Bitcoin was up. Ethereum was up also. We'll look at all that. We'll also take a look at the Bitcoin miners. They were a mixed bag today, so we'll take a look. But Bitfarms, Greenwich, Marathon, Hut 8, and Soluna reached new 52-week lows today. So we're having this continuation of a downtrend, it looks like, on some of the miners. And then we have breaking news. Sam Bankman-Fried arrested in Bahamas. He is awaiting extradition to the USA. So we'll take a look at that as well. There's not a lot of details yet, but we'll just take a look at it. And then we got Argo. Argo is selling assets. Bankruptcy, is it avoidable? Is it not avoidable? And then also, who is buying their assets? Is it Hut 8, Hive, or CleanSpark? We'll kind of talk about it, see who might be a potential buyer for those things. Okay? And that is it, along with Hut 8, Mawson, Terawulf. They're in the news today as well. New CFO, reverse split, growth. We'll talk about all those as well. Okay, and as always, you guys know the drill here, not financial advice, for entertainment only. Do your own research, and I'm investing in following coins and companies for full disclosure. And I did buy some more Rivian shares today just for full disclosure on that one. Okay, if you guys enjoy this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out tremendously. And let's take a look at the markets here really quick, and we'll get into the news here. So the S&P was up 1.43% today to 3,990. Dow Jones was up 1.58% to 34,005. NASDAQ was up 1.24% to 11,706. Bitcoin, we got to go on Bitcoin. Bitcoin was actually up today 0.74% to a close of 17,211. The low was 16,875, which happened overnight, and then the high was 17,244 on it. Looking at the 4-hour chart, it is, kind of looking like there's really no direction it wants to go. The RSI is at 54 right now. Last time we were here was back over here. Price was pretty much at the same spot. So we're trading sideways right now as it is on Bitcoin. Now, if we take a look at the 1-hour chart, we can see here in the last hour, it's come way down again. Last time we were right around here, potentially right there. So price is a little bit higher still at the same RSI. So we might be getting to be a little bit more bullish on it. We could see it also here on the peaks. One peak was higher than the other one, while it was pretty close. So we're starting to look a little bit more bullish on it. Okay, Ethereum was also up today. It was up, let's see here, it was up 1.01% to a close of 1,275, a low of 1,240, and a high of 1,279. Okay, let's take a look at the miners here. ANY was up 10.32% to 35 cents. Argo was not trading today. It was still suspended in trading, so it was flat for the day. This is BitDigital was down 1.73% to 73 cents. Bitfarms was up 2.45% to 50 cents. CleanSpark was up nicely today, 7.98% to $2.30. Cores was down 2.22% to 13 cents. DigiHost was down 7.69% to 48 cents. DMG was up 4.73% to 15 cents. Greenwich was down 3.63% to 48 cents. Hive was down 1.04% to $1.90. Hut 8 actually was able to squeak out a gain here to at 1% to $1.01. Like I said, they reached a new 52-week low today. Iris Energy was up 0.71% to $1.41. Luxfolio was flat on the day. Marathon was up 1.4% to $5.07. It also squeaked out a win today. It was trading lower. It hit a new 52-week low as well. Mawson was down 3.33% to 29 cents. Riot was down 0.48% to $4.17. Soluna was down 12.82% to 42 cents. Stronghold was down 4.36% to 48 cents. And Terawulf was down 33.48% to 80 cents. So it's come back way down here from where it started. It was actually lower. It almost looks like it hit a new 52-week low here potentially from where it was here on the 22nd. It came down off of that and bounced off of it here. So it was a wild ride for Terra today. Okay, and let's take a look at the network hash rate really quick while we're at it. Network hash rate on the 7-day is at 263 million right now. It has been coming up, but if we look at the 1-day, it looks like it has been kind of tracking down. We are getting higher lows, it looks like, for the past couple of days here, and we're getting higher highs again, so we're starting to see more miners getting installed and energized. Okay, now let's take a look at our first story here, which is not that one. It's on FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried, arrested in Bahamas. So the Bahamian authorities arrested former FTX founder and CEO Sam Bankman-Fried Monday evening. This development comes the day before SBF had agreed to testify before the U.S. House Financial Services Committee regarding the collapse of his Nassau-based exchange. According to a statement shared by the Bahamian Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Legal Affairs, the Royal Bahamian Police detained Bankman-Fried following receipt of formal notification from the United States. It has filed criminal charges against the fallen crypto billionaire. The Attorney General said it would hold Bankman-Fried in custody pursuant with the Bahamian Extradition Treaty. The U.S. government's extradition treaty with the Bahamas lets the U.S. extradite defendants for charges involving offenses that are crimes in both countries. So he's going to the United States. There isn't much else as far as what they're going to be charging him with, but I'm guessing it's going to be with, well, don't know what the charges are going to be yet. So continuing on here, the Bahamas and the United States have a shared interest in holding accountable all individuals associated with FTX who may have betrayed the public trust and broken the law, Bahamas Prime Minister Philip Davis said in a statement. So I'm sure we're going to get more information on it tomorrow, but I think they're going to throw the book at him on this one. You know, how he was able to say that he didn't know that $10 billion was being used by Alameda Research and was used by, they used customer funds to do it. He's the CEO, the buck stops at him. There's no way he can explain out of it. He should have known. You know, playing stupid doesn't help you out here, I guess, okay? So that's just that. We'll see how this story transpires, but I think this is actually good for the crypto industry, that people are going to be held accountable. Plus, it will also potentially prevent others from doing the same stupid things that were done here, okay? Next, really quick, here is Hut 8 appoints new chief financial officer. So I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this right. Shenif Vizram replaces Shane Downey, effective immediately. Didn't provide a reason as to why Downey was leaving, other than that he wanted to pursue other interests. So with more than 20 years of financial management experience in the infrastructure and technology businesses, Shenif brings a wealth of leadership expertise working in medium and large public and private companies. So there's really not much change going on there. Shenif, who will be based in Toronto and will report to CEO Jamie Leverton, is replacing Hut 8's CFO Shane Downey, who is moving on to pursue new opportunities after 20 months with the organization. Okay, didn't provide whether there was any clashes with the management or anything like that over anything. I read through this, so we'll see if that has any change on the way that they are possibly doing their HODL position and things like that, or anything else. I doubt that it will, but we'll keep an eye on it. Okay, next is Argo. So Argo was suspended in trading in the London Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ Stock Exchange on Friday. We finally find out why this happened. So let's get into it here. The company is at risk of having insufficient cash to support ongoing business operations within the next month. So this is what they reported this morning. I tweeted about it a little after it happened. The company is in advanced negotiations with a third party to sell certain assets and engage in an equipment financing transaction that the company believes will strengthen its balance sheet and improve its liquidity. My first question was, who are they in negotiations with as far as the third party is concerned? And what are those certain assets that they're selling? Are they selling their Helios facility? Are they selling only miners? It would have been nice to know a little bit more as far as what they're selling. But hopefully we'll get some more information on it in the coming days, maybe a week or so, as the company doesn't have much cash to go any further than possibly within the next month. Okay, continuing on here, the company is hopeful that it will be able to consummate the transaction outside of voluntary Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing in the United States, although there is no assurance that the company can avoid such a filing. So Chapter 11 is still looming around Argo. Even if they do this, we don't know if it's going to be enough. Hopefully it will be, and they'll be able to get through this, but we just don't know. We got to wait. Time is going to, clear everything up for us. Going down here, as part of this process, certain draft materials were inadvertently published as a test page on the company's website. The inadvertently published materials, which implied that the company was filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, led to the suspension of trading of the company's securities on the London Stock Exchange and NASDAQ on Friday, 9th December 2022. That's the reason why a suspension happened. We didn't know why. We didn't know any reason why things were trading other than we were possibly waiting for some news. And this is part of it. So they're preparing possibly for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And, I don't want to say stupidly, but unknowingly they published the page and it looks like it went public, and people saw it and freaked out. Okay, the shareholders should note that the company has not filed for bankruptcy at this time, so they're still not there yet, but they're close. Okay, and that is it. And then also we have a story on it here from CoinDesk. I think this is their Helios facility in Texas, which is like supposed to get up to 800 megawatts, which would be a pretty big facility. And the only thing I wanted to cover on this one was they already covered pretty much everything that we said in the previous article or press release, but here's what they had to say here. Argo has built a mega Bitcoin mining facility in West Texas dubbed Helios. The facility started operations in May with a plan to reach 800 megawatts of energy consumption and 20 exahash of computing power. This would have made Argo one of the world's biggest miners in this field, obviously. So interested to know which facility are they selling, or if they're selling a facility or if they're just selling miners. But I think this is a facility that has giving them a lot of headaches based on the fact that they didn't have secured fixed pricing on their electrical with this facility. This is the one that has been giving them grief, I think. So it wouldn't surprise me if they go out and sell this piece of asset that is causing them all this pain. So continue on here. However, problems quickly emerged and the firm found costs from the facility outpacing revenue, such that margins narrowed in the following few months. And we've seen this with other miners as well. That has been a common issue in the industry as the price of energy has soared and the price of Bitcoin has slumped. Argo felt the effect of soaring energy prices particularly hard as it didn't have a fixed rate power agreement for the Helios facility. So I'm thinking this might be on the chopping block for them if that is the case. I don't know how much that facility is going to be worth now, given that the market that we're in with Bitcoin being so depressed in price right now. But there are a couple buyers that might be interested in it. One that comes to mind is Hut 8. They have a lot of cash still sitting around in their HODL position that they could pull a trigger on. They also have cash still. They have an ATM that they could also use to do this. So they have a couple options to them to potentially buy out distressed assets, which is one of the things that they said that they were looking into doing. Other possibility is also Hive. Hive has said in their latest November production update that they sold some Bitcoin, but they didn't provide how many Bitcoins they sold, which was kind of interesting. And they also didn't provide how much they HODL. So did they use their HODL position to sell in order to buy this piece of real estate, piece of assets, whatever you want to call it? If that's even the case that's happening. This is all just kind of my own thoughts as far as who could possibly be buying them. The other one that comes to mind is CleanSpark. CleanSpark said that they want to get to 22 exahash by the end of next year. They're currently at 5.5 exahash. They have a long ways to go. They're going to have to buy facilities or do hosting with somebody, which wouldn't be the way I would go. I'd go more for having your own facilities, having a little bit more control over it. But the only thing is that they've been growing so fast this year, they've been using up a lot of their BTC that was mined and their cash to buy out Mawson's facility already that they bought out in Georgia and some of the miners there as well. The only way they could possibly be buying up Helios is either by debt financing, so they would have to get some kind of a loan to do it. They don't have the HODL position to do it either, and I'm pretty sure that their cash reserves are pretty much exhausted at this point from all the growth that they've had so far. So I give it a slight chance that they might be the ones. I would give it a little bit more chance to possibly Hut 8 or Hive. But we'll see if any of those three are even the ones that are going to be interested in it. So those are just kind of my takes on it. Okay, let me know what you guys think. If you guys agree with this, that those three might be the possible ones. I don't think other ones are in a... Well, I know Riot has their own facilities that they're working on, so there's really no reason for them to do it. Marathon is in debt already as it is, so I don't think they want to expand into that anymore. But it might be also advantageous for Marathon to have their own facility where they're not beholden to the hosting providers, and that's another can of worms all in itself. Okay, so there it is, Bitcoin miner on that one. For Argo, hopefully they pull through and they can sell some of the assets and get through this. Next is Mawson. Mawson reported last week on Friday, I believe it was. Let's see if we can find a date on here. I don't see a date, but I think it was the 9th. Didn't say the date, but I think it was Friday. Friday or Thursday. Mawson Infrastructure Group, Inc. Dear shareholders, the board of directors of Mawson Infrastructure Group has approved and amended to the certificate of incorporation of the company to execute a reverse stock split of all the outstanding shares of the common stock. So it looks like they're doing a 1-for-6 ratio at a 1-to-6 ratio, which would give them to be at 17 million shares after the split, it looks like, the reverse split. So the board has taken the view that the reverse stock split is necessary to enable the company to comply with listing requirements of the NASDAQ capital market. In addition, following the reverse stock split, the company will have approximately 17 million shares, of common stock outstanding, and the board has taken the view that the company does not require such a high amount of authorized but unissued common stock. So in a way, this is kind of good for them. They get to do a reverse split, get their stock above $1 again on the NASDAQ market, and potentially be able to maybe get some capital financing that way as well in order to continue their growth potentially. So this is fine. I'm okay with it. And we'll see. This is supposed to take place. I believe the vote is supposed to happen on, let's see, I believe it was in February. You must return your written consent to us by 5 p.m. Eastern Time on February 3rd, 2023. So that's kind of when they want to do that by. So that should give them enough time before they get a letter from the NASDAQ not delisting, but that they have to fall in line with the regulations. Okay. Next is Terawulf, sorry. Terawulf is gone. Terawulf significantly increases expected Q1 2023 self-mining hash rate at no additional cost and announces repayment of certain debt. So there's some good news here for Terawulf, which we covered them yesterday, but there are some changes to them based on the current release that we have today. So we'll get into that here really quick. So today, Terawulf announced that it has successfully restructured its previous announced purchase agreement with BITMAIN Technologies Limited, enabling the company to significantly expand its self-mining capacity and fully utilize 160 megawatts of its available mining capacity expected in Q1 2023. So that's all good. The company also announced that it has raised new capital to repay the convertible promissory note, the advance, with YA2PN Ltd, Yorkville, in full, and expects to simultaneously issue a notice to Yorkville to terminate the accompanying standby equity purchase agreement SEPA. So that's good news there. Here's the story on the increased miner deliveries. So in connection with the recent modifications to the company's purchase agreement with BITMAIN, the parties have agreed to cancel Terawulf's December 2022 batch of approximately 3,000 S19 XP Pro Bitcoin mining machines, and together with the application of remaining unused deposits with BITMAIN, replace the batch with approximately 14,000 S19J Pro miners for delivery in Q1 2023 at no additional cost to the company. In a sense, it's good, but in a sense, it's bad also. So here's my thoughts on it. We know that the S19 XPs are far more energy efficient than the S19 Pros. You got 140 terahash at approximately 20.5 joules per terahash, whereas the S19J Pros are only 100 terahash, and they're at 21, I believe, joules per terahash. So they're giving up a little bit of efficiency for more hash rate, for quite a bit more hash rate. So I can see how that can make sense a little bit. And it might be advantageous to them as well. So I think it's a wash, but it would have been nice to have the S19 XPs, which are more efficient than the S19J Pros. Okay. Next, continuing on here, with the incremental delivery of the 8,200 miners, the company is increasing its estimated Q1 2023 self-mining targets to 44,450 owned miners deployed 5.0 exahash from its prior estimate of 36,250 owned miners and 4.3 exahash. So they're increasing that by 700 petahash roughly with this change out in miners. So that's good there. But we'll also take a look at my numbers here because that kind of changed things up a little bit as well. Okay, let's see here. Termination of SEPA. The company also today announced that it has raised approximately 10 million of new capital, comprised of 6.7 million in registered direct offering of common stock, in addition to the previously issued issuance of 3.4 million of convertible promissory notes to some of its largest shareholders in transaction exempt from registration under the Securities Act of 1993, as amended. The company intends to use the aggregate net proceeds to repay the advance with Yorkville and simultaneously issue a notice to Yorkville to terminate the accompanying SEPA entered into on June 2nd, 2022, and for other general corporate purposes. So that's good. They're paying down some of that debt. It's kind of a wash there as well, but it's not too bad. So I think this is actually pretty good news. Now, looking at the numbers, I had them at higher hash rate than they are going to be right now. So right now they're about 1.3 exahash. Future hash rate I have them now at 5. I did have them a lot higher here, and here's what happened. So the miners that they are changing out are these over here, the 500 of the S19 XPs, and the 2500 of these as well, the SXPs here. So those are out. Those are being replaced by the 14,000 S19G Pros here. So I had that in already. I think this was already reported in a previous SEC filing, but it wasn't provided as a news release. Then I also had them with these, was it 30,000? I think it was. I think it was, if you do 5 times 6, yeah, 30,000 of these S19J Pros to get them to, that was another 2.5 exahash here. So I had them at like 7 something exahash total that they're supposed to get to. Now they're saying they're only supposed to get to the 5 exahash. I'm not sure what happened with these miners here. It was a reduction of 2.5 exahash basically on it. I wonder if these are being pushed out or these got canceled. Don't know, but we'll leave them in here just in case they do get added in later on. But I marked them as 0 to coincide with what they're saying that they're going to be at 5 exahash with 44,000 miners. Okay, so that all kind of works out there for us. So that's it. That's the only thing that we had for it. All right. All right, so kind of busy day. Kind of went through this hopefully quickly. Hopefully I didn't waste too much of you guys' time. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're still waiting on a bunch of miners to report their November production updates. Hopefully they report soon, and hopefully they do report them, or we're going to have to kick them out of the group here. But we also have the CPI data coming out this week, I believe the 14th, so that's a couple days away. We'll see how the Fed reacts to that, as far as if we get 50 basis points or 75 basis points, and we'll just go take it day by day. Right now, Bitcoin's looking like it kind of wants to go up a little bit, so we'll see what happens, okay? Other than that, Spreadsheet, as always, available to my Patreon members there. Thank you for everyone there. Thank you so much for watching. I think that's it. We'll see you guys in the next one. Love you all.